I'm here, Circle 23. You're joining me for My First Two Loves, Chapter 59, Square One. You know the anxiety that builds up when you're running late and everything in the world joins forces to conspire against you? The stoplight that won't turn green, the construction that popped up out of nowhere, the guy too distracted by pictogram to just go? That's what it felt like to watch Miss Lawson examine my pictures. She pored over every frame, oblivious to my desperate stares. And the limited commentary didn't help either. So, what do you... One second, Emma, I'm gathering my thoughts. She liked them or not? But somehow I managed to keep my cool, and finally she turned to me, photos in hand. I'm not sure how to say this, but I can tell you've been taking my advice to heart. You've been improving in leaps and bounds, Emma. Really? Really. Though there are still a few tweaks I'd like to see. You may have got a bit overboard in the process of touching these up. She held the photos to the light, and immediately I saw what she meant. On the computer, I'd upped the contrast to the point where some of the details looked a little pixelated. Oh, I can fix that and reprint those before I leave today. The originals are saved on my camera. Embarrassed, I quickly crumpled the photos and threw them in the recycle bin, but Miss Larson shook her head. There's no need to be abashed. I'm impressed with you, Emma. I'm very impressed with all of you, actually. She called over the rest of the group, gathering us in a giant huddle. Except for Lauren. Screw her. I must say I'm proud of the work you've done here. The site is nearly built and the artwork looks incredible. But I'd be remiss if I didn't give you a special shout out to our new leader, Elijah Harris. Oh, don't mention it. It was all my crew. Don't downplay your efforts. You've really turned the ship around. I made eye contact with Lauren across the huddle, and she scowled furiously at me. With a smirk, I said, Thank goodness Jennings made Lauren walk the plank. Who knew we all needed to succeed was to get rid of the dead weight. You think you're so funny, but you're the only one laughing. Everyone else was sad to see me go. Oh, really? I was crying so hard at the news, Lauren, just sobbing my eyes out. Lauren's face went beet red, and she shot me a murderous look. Now, art uplifts, and so should we. Lauren stormed off in a huff, and Miss Lawson watched her go, eyes wide. Oh dear, I meant that I'm glad to see that Winter Wonderland is headed in such a good direction. Yeah, now that we got rid of the dead weight. Now, let's raise some funds. As the crowd dispersed, Miss Larson approached me. I held up my hands. Before you give me a lecture, I want to apologize to Lauren. She was a lousy leader, and more than that, she locked me in the gym. Either learn to forgive or learn to sleep with one eye open, dear. In any case, your outburst isn't why I came over. Listen, I sleep very soundly, with a 12-gauge shotgun underneath me. As my star pupil, I was hoping I could give a call on you to do a little tutoring. She gestured at someone coming from the direction of the field, pom-poms from cheer practice in hand. Oh, for the love of Christ. Pixelberry, you're trying really hard at this, aren't you? Hey, Emma. Ava? Her eyes met, and a warmth melted over my entire body. Even the air felt electric. And then I remember she was dating Bela, and my nerves solidified with like a lead weight in the pit of my stomach. Ava has been having a little trouble honing her photography with cheer still on her plate, so I've given her a special assignment. Do you think you could help out? I wanted to run far away before I get swept up in Ava's beautiful eyes. Oh, for the love of Christ. Subconsciously, I took a step back, and almost immediately Ava reached out to steady me. You have no reason to say no. Or every reason, but I could really use your help, please. And there it was. No matter what happened between us, she and I had always had a bond, and always would. You always have a bond because the writers deem it so. But let's be honest, she's with Bela. So, yeah. And I couldn't let her down. Perfect. I'll leave you to it then, Ava. I expect to be wowed first thing in Monday morning. And with a wagging finger, Miss Lorson flipped away, and I shot Ava a shy smile. I've never seen her assign something like this. Just how bad have you been doing? Let's just say I'm naming this Project Resurrection because it's legit bringing me back from the dead. Well, then we better get started. What's the assignment? She wants to make a photo diary showcasing my memories, thoughts, dreams. As she spoke, a light bulb went off in my head. To Ace's project, why don't we show, Larson, all of your faces, past, present, and future. Starting with, the day you first met me. I grabbed her hand and led her back to where it all began. As the snow crunched under our feet, I thought back, remembering the feel of late summer sun beaming down on us. It was the last day of cheerleading tryouts. The captain insisted on weeding out the girl with the low stamina by making us run laps. And I wasn't having it until you came along. Varsity captain. Alright, you know the drill. One full lap around the school. Stragglers are getting cut, so pick up the pace. I wasn't worried. My runs with Mason had made me strong, but as I stretched, some of the girls started complaining. No offense, but I signed up for cheerleading, not track. Yeah, but you need to be athletically fit. Please, like the track team could do a round-off back handspring back tuck to a basket toss. I know not what you just spoke. It's like a foreign language. It's like 1001, 1001. Maybe not, but they're not drunk on their own power either. Why don't you unclench? Then maybe that'll stick will fall out of your ass. Okay, I kind of like her. Shut up. What did you just say? I don't know what made me do it. I mean, it wasn't like I knew her. But there was something that just drew me to Ava, and I jumped in. You know, if you can do it, if you can't do it, you can always quit. There's no shame in knowing your limits. Excuse me? I never said I couldn't handle it. Who do you think you are? The captain crosses her arms with a scowl, but I turned my back on her and shot Ava a sly wink. Just go with it. Let's see if your feet are as fast as your mouth. Emma, here are the fastest lap times of you all. Beat her and you're in. If you lose, you and the rest of the complainers are cut. What do you say? Ava shot me a suspicious look, but I smiled and gave her a small nod. Deal. Then on your marks, get set, go! Why do we see you run, you loudmouth? Sound of shutter slamming brought me back to the moment as Ava examined the photo. I haven't thought about that day in years. I still can't believe you let me win. I looked into her eyes and tried to imagine life. Or I hadn't. There'd been no sharing snacks on the bus to go to games, no one to straighten my hair ribbon, no Ava at all. It was for a worthy cause. Thank God you got better at running, though. Anyway, I think I know where I want to take the next one. It's somewhere that's really been summing up my present state of mind lately. Then let's go. I followed Ava to the greenhouse and was met by a burst of warm air. The grounds outside were snowed over, but winter didn't stand a chance there. Ava went straight to the big leafy plant, where an open cocoon dangled from one of the blades. Here's my model. A moth, but why? Because it's out of a cocoon. I don't get it. What does this moth have to do with you? Ava crouched until the bug was eye level, watching as it expanded its crinkled wings. The moth just came out of its cocoon. Its wings are wet, so it'll need to sit here until they dry. Who knows what predator could come along before then? The tone of her voice shifted, and instinctively I put my hand on her shoulder. Right now I feel super vulnerable, like I went through a big change, and I don't know if my wings are dry enough to survive. I thought of her reaction to Chad at homecoming, her sneaking around with Bela, the ache in my own stomach as she leaned into my support, nuzzling my arm. Whether we were ready to say it out loud or not, our relationship had changed things and it scared her. Ava, you've had wings your whole life. I took the camera from her and fixed them all squarely in the middle of the shot. At the flash, the bug took off, fluttering from plant to plant. Now it's time to share them with the rest of the world. Emma, I don't know if I'm ready. Is anyone ever ready? I used to think college was right around the corner, but she trailed off, and for the first time, I realized her future was just as much a mystery to me as my own. But what? Denver U offered me a cheerleading scholarship, but I'm not so sure I want to go. It's crazy, right? There are people who can't afford college, and here I am thinking of turning it down. It's not crazy. If I were you, I'd follow my heart. College isn't for everyone, and who knows what's better for you than you? I guess absolutely anyone at this point. Not sure if you noticed, but I kind of been making a big mess of things lately. You and me both, but better now than 20 years from now. And if it doesn't work out, college will still be there. Now's the time to live out our wildest dreams. So what do you want to do instead? I'm not sure yet. It's all still up in the air. An idea hit me, and I pulled Ava over to the fountain. Helped her on the ledge before kneeling down and angling the camera up at her. Okay, I want you to jump as high as you can. I'm gonna get that. I'm not even gonna make the comment, just move on. I captured her squarely in the frame, hovering above everything else, bold, brave, and free. Ava came over and I handed her the camera. Slowly she flicked through the photos we'd taken, each one better than the last. Remember the days when we thought we'd go to the same school? We were gonna be roommates and get one of those shag rugs and hang those cliche Animal House posters. That seems like a completely different lifetime. Now I have no clue what I'll be doing next year. Really? Because I think you could make this work. I couldn't have taken any of these on my own. Look. She wrapped her arm around mine as she pulled me in to give me a better view, sending my head in a tailspin. I rushed my shoulder against hers, and the pure electricity shot down my arm. When I looked up, she was staring right at me. You're incredible, Emma. Crap, she's beautiful. Snap out of it, she has a girlfriend already. I screamed internally as my brain basically shorted out. I couldn't tear my eyes away from her. And for a moment I let myself imagine the future we'd planned. Lunch on the quad, late night study sessions, falling asleep just feet apart, and then reality came crashing down, and I cleared my throat. Come on, let's get these to the classroom and get our photos printed. When I pushed the door to the classroom open, I knew something was off, but I couldn't place it. The room was eerily quiet, and lights had been shut off, bathing the room in shadows. To the left, something moved. Emma, you saw that too, right? It's not just me. Hey, listen, I played a lot of Phasmophobia lately. Pull the camera out, use the flash. Come on, we gotta capture the ghost. Ava, turn on the lights. We swiped at the bank of light switches until the entire room was illuminated, but when I looked around, we were alone. Okay, so do we know the ghost's name? Listen, I've had a lot of fun with that game. Okay, shut up. Let's just get to the computer, hit the printer, and get out of here before this ends up like every scary movie ever. You don't have to tell me twice. I sprinted to my desk, snatched up my book bag, and rifled through it, only to come up empty. Looking for this? Oh, for the love of Christ. It's Voldemort. Lauren stood in the doorway, dangling something from her hand by the strap. Not funny, Lauren. Give it back now. Give me an S. Give me a T. Give me an F. Give me a U. What's that spell? You might call the shots for the squad, but right now I'm the boss. I took a step towards her, but Lauren slid the camera strap onto a single middle finger. Move one more inch, and this is going to be one hell of a Kodak moment. Okay, you made your point. You win. Just please don't. She bobbed her finger, and I guessed the camera swayed dangerously back and forth. Please. Please, I like you like this. Tell you what, if you want your camera back, all you have to do is beg for it. Illusion of choice. I'd rather mop the boys' bathroom with my tongue than give you the satisfaction. That can be arranged. Bite me. Suit yourself. My heart stopped as she let the camera freefall and smash against the stone floor of the art room. Oops. Ava squeezed my shoulder and whispered in my ear, "Don't panic. It's a bit scratched up, but it doesn't look broken. You can still save this." Eyes flashed first to Lauren and then the camera and back again before I dove for it from across the room. I was fast, but not fast enough. Lauren drove her heel into the body of the camera, crushing it beneath her foot. The only copies I had on my work were in there. You just destroyed them. Good luck at the auction tomorrow, Emma. Break a lens. Oh, you stupid mother. Without further ado, thank you all for watching. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Head down in the description below. Links to social media, Discord, and if you'd like to support me and my content. I hate bullies. I hate them. I've had to deal with them in my entire goddamn life, and I'm just so tired of bullies. Like, I'm just gonna say this. I'm just triggered. You could say triggered. We'll go with triggered. So, the problem with bullies is no one really stands up to them. You'll hear the occasional heroic moment where someone does, and it's rare, but, you know, most of the time no one really does stand up to the bullies, do they? That's kind of the problem. As I was telling people in my Discord, if people started doing that and started helping out one another, started caring about one another, even if something doesn't affect them, the world would be in a lot better place. People talk about, you know, solving world peace and world hunger. Well, here's the thing. In order to save humanity, you have to put the human back in it. I know, it breaks your little hearts, doesn't it? It breaks your minds, doesn't it? For those of you who don't get it. When we start caring about things that don't directly affect us, or even indirectly affect us, kind of like the fact that, you know, people marched, right? A lot of people, such as myself, actually cared about, you know, LGBTQ rights and everything else when it didn't affect me. I am, you know, clearly right now I identify as straight, right? Okay. Didn't affect me, though. Didn't care. My mentality has always been, as long as someone isn't screwing literally and figuratively on my lawn, I really don't give a damn. However, everybody should have equal rights. Same goes for, you know, black on white and all this other shit. Everyone deserves the same rights. It's called equality for a reason, and it's called humanity. Put the human back in it. Start caring about one another. That's all I have to say for today. That's all I really have to say for this video. Thanks for watching. Catch you all later. Peace.